Yeah, let's go ahead and start with this. Let's start with some context for the conversation.
Yes.
We all know, I guess, how it ended, but how did this conversation begin and who was it with?
Okay, so on my Facebook page, my personal Facebook page, I put an initial posting, which was something to the effect, I hate President Trump, and he's causing trauma and nightmares for people. That was my initial posting. There are several people who responded to that. I had over 60 hits of people who were liking it or understanding exactly where I was coming from. It should not matter if you are a Democrat or a Republican. We are Americans, and anytime there is hate that is supported, it makes a really dangerous environment for a lot of people. You also,
most people, though, could agree with some of the things that you said about the president, but not go to as far as how far you went. So, I mean, talk about that. Why did you have to go that far with that statement?
Well, you know what? I made the initial statement last evening, and then when I woke up early this morning, I actually woke up from a nightmare. And I understand that because I also experienced Ferguson, and I also saw Charlottesville, and it was the same thing. The difference is we didn't have the extra militarization in Charlottesville that we did in St. Louis. It was inappropriate. I've said that 3 times now.
Are you apologizing for it?
No. When the president apologizes for what he says, I'll apologize.
So
but
you go as far to say your statement was inappropriate.
Yes.
But you're not apologizing.
It was inappropriate. It was wrong. I posted it to my personal Facebook page, and I deleted it.
But you're not apologizing for
No.
it. Because at the end of the day, you still mean what you said.
I don't mean that. I don't want anyone to incur harm. Okay. What I am saying is that we do not deserve to have this type of president. I refuse to support it. Again, should not matter if you're a Democrat or Republican. We're talking about discourse in America. It's just really sad when you have a president that supports white supremacists. And then someone wrote a statement on my Facebook, and I responded with something I probably shouldn't have been put up there. I deleted it. But I am not going to shy away from, not for a moment.
I just thought that was a disgrace to the state of Missouri for any elected official, especially on the state level, a state senator to make any kind of comment like that. I think she should step down immediately. I think it's a disgrace to the state of Missouri for anybody in elected position to call for an assassination.
Many politicians like Lieutenant Governor Mike Parson have spoken out against Nadal for making those comments, including Senate Democratic leader Gina Walsh. She says in part, I strongly condemn and disavow Senator Maria Chappelle-Nadal's horrible comments. Promoting, supporting, or suggesting violence against anyone, especially our elected leaders, is never acceptable. Her behavior has no place in our caucus, the Capitol, or the Democratic Party. Senator Claire McCaskill also spoke out saying, I condemn it, it's outrageous, and she should resign.
This morning I attended a wonderful service here at Wellspring, and the title of the sermon was, I Stand Accused. And I do, rightfully, because I made a mistake. And you know what I'm reminded of is that we are all human. And I'm also a child of God, as well as every single person standing behind me. The message that has been sent to me by our God is that I am here to serve as a teacher, as a translator, but most of all, as a servant. I am a servant of God, and I am a servant of the people that I represent. And I failed them both recently. I failed them both. But I'm reminded of the kindness that has been afforded me and so many others that have made mistakes in their lives. One of the scriptures that we talked about this morning was John 7, verses 53 to chapter 8, verse 1. I'm reminded about that. We are all human beings, and none of us are perfect. I want to make this apology to our president and his family. President Trump, I apologize to you and your family. I also apologize to all of the people in Missouri. And I also apologize to my colleagues in the Missouri legislature for the mistake that I made. I will continue to fight for issues that are really, really important. You know, talking about being a translator and teacher, something that comes up is an issue that I care about so much, which is radioactive waste. That is the calling that God gave me. That is the gift that God gave me. God chooses people for different things, to send different messages. And I made a mistake, and I'm owning up to it. And I am not ever going to make a mistake like that again. And I have learned my lesson. My judge and my jury is my Lord Jesus Christ.